Tonight on the show, I've got the stars from the new Ted movie. So cute. And if you squeeze his paw, he speaks.
I'm Ted. I love you. Oh, yeah. Squeeze that paw. Yeah, do it. Again. Come on. Oh, God. Your beard stinks like my ass, and I love it.
That's Ted! Let's start the show! For you tonight. Thank you so much, Ted. Thank you very much.
Ow, you bastard!
So, who's on my sofa tonight? Let's meet them. He is the star of Mock the Week and the second funniest man in Ireland. It's Dara, everybody! Oh! Hello, sir! Lovely to see you. Glad to see you. This girl just wants to have fun. She's one of my favourite singers and now a Tony Award-winning composer. It is the legendary Cyndi Lauper, everybody! Hey! How are you, lovely? Oh, so good to see you. Come in. He's an actor, writer, director. He's the comic genius behind Family Guy and Ted. It's Seth MacFarlane! The star of Boogie Nights, The Fighter, and now Ted 2. It is the mighty Mark Wahlberg! Very good to see you. Yes! Yeah! I told you picked a nice night. Welcome back, Dara. And Cyndi Lauper, I haven't seen you in years. Hello, welcome back.
You got a very literary look now.
Literary?
Well, seafaring or something.
Homeless.
It's more young, thin Orson Welles.
Let's go with young and thin. Yeah. Screw the rest of it. Now, Seth, welcome back. Mark, welcome back. Though, Mark, your name has come up since your last appearance.
It has?
It has.
Why is
because Matt Damon was here. And we were looking at this picture. That's not that picture, that's just Matt Damon. We were looking at this picture of a really big Matt Damon fan who posted this picture. I love it. And then he didn't correct us at all. Do you remember this?
Absolutely. It happens quite often. Matt and I, every time we see each other, we always laugh about it. Because, you know, people come up to me, hey, I love your Born Identity. I said, wait for the next one. And, you know, it's just we're both Bostonians, and it is what it is. So.
But isn't that bizarre?
People don't pay that much attention.
And, Cyndi, this happens to you, oddly, doesn't it?
Once in a while. You know, I just signed Madonna. I don't care. As long as I don't talk, I'm good.
But with the voice thing, it's weird because, of course, Seth MacFarlane, your voice is so recognisable. I mean, obviously you do all the Family Guy voices, but, you know, Brian is you.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
So do you have to... You can't put sunglasses on your voice. Do you disguise your voice on the phone?
No, I mean, the only time I disguise it in some way is when if I'm calling to, like, order food, and I'm afraid that the person making the food might not like the show. And so I don't want them to, like, spit in my food or anything, so I'll go, it's a large pizza, please. That way I protect my health.
And Dara O'Brien, because you look at Dara O'Brien and you think, what a distinctive-looking man.
Thank you.
He can have no lookalikes.
And yet I know where this is going, Graham.
Well, you've so many lookalikes. Because online, people keep posting people who look like you. So the most common, I think, is surely this. This is,
Yeah.
That is uncanny.
It's not uncanny. He's just a bald man. I can't believe this is a game in which he gets Matt Damon. And that's not even the worst one?
No, because Groove and Despicable Me is good compared to the next one. The next one, and again, lots of people post this.
Yeah.
It's the Mega Boss Man.
Yeah.
the weirdest one, and I think you posted this, or you retweeted it or something.
Yeah.
A lookalike who's actually called Dara.
Yes, yeah, there's an act in, God, I don't know, some part of the Indian subcontinent who like, and it's a common name, Dara, around the world in different parts of the world. There's a Korean pop singer called Dara, and every year on her birthday, I leave hundreds of, oh, happy birthday, Dara, you bring great joy to our lives. Thanks. Keep listening. But then this guy appeared, yeah.
So here's the poster, and his name is Dara Singh. And you think, well, that's a big enough coincidence.
Yeah.
But then, focus in on his face.
That is me. That is absolutely me. You put me in a yellow shirt with a knife. That is exactly what I look like. The least threatening knifing of all time. But yeah, I'm knifing, but I'm dancing.
I feel like he's just singing a song about a butter knife, isn't he?
Yeah.
A well-used butter knife. Now, Mark Wahlberg, Seth MacFarlane, you're back with Ted 2.
Yes.
Yes! Sometimes you hear a movie you love is having a sequel, and you're like, yeah, everyone so wanted this to happen, the Ted 2.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, you'll find out on the 10th of July when it opens.
Yeah.
So this time, what happens to your character Mark and Ted?
By the time you meet me, you know, people should have saw the signs. My marriage is over.
No.
You know, we were moving in two completely different directions. Had we had that bond that really keeps people together, that love and joy and appreciation of marijuana, Laurie and I would have stayed together. But when you meet me now, I'm single, depressed. Ted's trying to get me out of my funk, trying to get me to hook up with random chicks, and I'm just like not putting my feelings out there. Don't want to get hurt. Then he doesn't pay attention to how bad my marriage was, dives into a marriage himself with Tammy Lynn. Honeymoon's over very quickly. Reality sets in. He says, how do I save my marriage? He's going to have a baby. And obviously that poses some serious challenges.
Yes.
Nicely put. That's where you
If we didn't know this was about Ted, that could be any movie. Two friends who are facing real-life issues.
It becomes sort of a little morality play, in which Ted realizes that in order to have a child, he has to prove that he can, in fact, legally adopt, and therefore has to go to court to prove that he is a person. So it becomes sort of a civil rights battle story. Yes. It's a very...
Like, Frank Capra could have made this.
Yeah, he didn't, but... it becomes a very deep emotion picture.
Let's watch a short clip from the movie. This is Mark and Ted meeting your lawyer, played by Amanda Seyfried, for the first time.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a few test questions. Are you ready?
Yep, bring it on.
You're on the stand. The DA says, Ted, do you consider yourself to be human?
Objection. Sustained.
No, the witness can't object.
Oh, the rules.
Sidebar.
Guilty.
Speculation.
Hearsay.
Bailiff.
Briefcase.
Disregard.
In my chambers.
Stop Beaver on the witness.
Arrest.
We could totally be lawyers.
Fine.
And watching it, you really do believe that Ted's there. So, like, in that dialogue, how do you do that? Not too technical.
Well, you learn your lines. You show up. Seth's in the other room. We talk about where the bear is. And that particular scene is just stationary the whole time. So if he's moving around, we kind of choreograph the movements, and that's it. So Seth is off there doing the lines, and I'm just saying, okay, my buddy's right there.
So all that timing, you're actually hearing those lines?
Yes. Yeah, I'll either have an earwig or it's on the speaker, and so...
Okay.
It is when you look at the footage of Mark doing these scenes before the bear goes in, it's actually, it's true. I don't know why that sounds really dirty, but boy, would I like to get you home and get my bear in you. It's actually extraordinary because he's selling it so beautifully that even before the bear is in there, you're like, oh, he's seeing something. He's seeing that bear there, and it's just.
Because the first time round, like, going to Mark, was it the Boston connection, or were you guys friends anyway? How did you guys find each other?
I think Matt Damon passed. Who looks like that guy?
We have the same asshole agent, basically.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That explains that. Is that really it?
Actually,
we do have the same. My agent's calling me saying, "Hey, I really want you to do this movie about a guy and a teddy bear." I'm like, "You're an idiot." I'm like, "Oh, I went to one of your clients. He's like, yeah, it must be a high-paid client, right? Somebody that makes more money than I do, because you're, like, trying to basically sabotage my career to service another client. But then I kept hearing about how great the script was. And it was very much like Boogie Nights. I read the script, I put it down, like 35 pages. I said, this can either be brilliant or it can be a disaster. And then once I met with Seth, I knew that it was going to be special.
So the Boston thing is just a coincidence?
It is and it isn't. It was important that this feel like a real friendship that is, you know, that's regional. And it's not enough that the teddy bear talks. He's got to be from somewhere. So he's got to have a backstory like any other actor. And you know, nobody knows Boston better than Mark Wahlberg. And, and it's
well, Dara O'Brien doesn't know Boston.
I lived in Boston as a student.
How long for?
For a summer.
What's an Irishman doing in Boston?
Yeah, I loved choice. I loved it. It was great.
Anybody who comes there, goes to school, gets a great education, leaves, loves it. No, grows up in the hood.
None of that.
And gets beat up by the police.
I had a summer with 9 of us living in a house that had 4 rooms.
Yeah, I lived 9 brothers and sisters with 1 room.
Okay, all right. Are we in the Monty Python sketch now? We arrived. I'm only there for the summer now, but we slept on mattresses.
Snow.
No, we got no snow. It was a particularly mild summer in Boston. We slept on mattresses that we stole from Skips on the first night we rented our house.
See, that's not stealing. That's just taking. Nobody wants them. They threw them away.
It sounds like, please, this mattress could do with another home. And so we slept on that. It was a properly, you know, scummy student flat that we lived in.
No, I just lived in the Cape. I loved it.
You lived in the Cape.
Cape was great. I had a funny accent in the Cape after a while.
But
I started calling people
did you pick up that accent?
Yeah, because
really?
Yeah, and part of it was like, you know, I liked like watching the bread commercials with the guy Pepperidge Farm.
Oh, Pepperidge Farm.
And and I loved the accent, so I used to love to go Pepperidge Farm.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Your accent's never changed, Cyndi, has it?
I tried. I got a lot of notes from elocution teachers.
What, when you started, people would write to you?
Yeah.
I beg you, change your
No,
voice.
well, they said that they could teach me because they taught Julia Roberts and they taught Kathleen Turner, and that they could teach me. And, you know, I tried, but it's a little boring.
Because of your dialect?
Yeah, it's awful.
No, it's Adelaide from Guys and Dolls. It's fantastic.
I know, a person could develop a cold.
There you go.
Rosie Perez and
But you said about Boston as if being Irish in Boston was somehow would be very normal or ordinary.
Yeah.
I was working in an airport. I was working in an airport gift shop in Logan Airport in Boston. At least once a day, a local would come in and I would do what I would have the exchange, and they'd go, "Oh, your accent, you must be British." And it became so often that we had an answer prepared that every time they would go, "You must be British," we would go, "No, I'm not. I'm Irish, but that's okay. All you Mexicans make the same mistake."
It's back to Ted, because obviously this is the second one.
Yeah.
When you're writing it in your head, are you thinking, what vile things... we say what vile things happen to Mark's character, but really, they're happening to Mark Wahlberg, really.
We were starting to talk, because Amanda tried to pull a prank on me, and then I pulled a prank back on her, and they said, has Seth ever pulled a prank on him? I'm like, no. And she says, well, what about the sperm bank scene? That's pretty much a prank on you. And I
what would you do if that wasn't in the movie at all, if I just wanted to cover you with fake cum?
Oh, my God.
Got ya.
So, I'm reading this script, right? And I'm like, oh, my God, this is so funny. I'm like, wait a second, that happens to me. This is not good. I can't do this. And I said, well, I figured maybe it's a couple of droplets, and all of a sudden I see the guy with the giant bucket, right? And I'm like, what's in there? Like, don't worry, it's not the real thing. I'm like, how would I know the difference? You think I know the difference? What are you saying?
I was a little bit flattered when you said, no, I want Seth to do it. You didn't let anyone else pour it on me. I'll tell you, that gets me right here.
Now, we must talk about Amanda Seyfried, because she's really funny in the movie. But there were a lot of jokes, and again, you know, about the character, but really they are Amanda Seyfried jokes.
She's a good sport. She's a good sport.
Were they all in the script, or did you each day kind of going, we could do this joke?
No, she's a good sport. You're talking about the eyes, right? That's the elephant in the room.
Yeah, the Gollum reference.
Yeah, the gorgeous, big Garfield eyes.
There's a lot of jokes.
Which
about
men
it.
are shooting themselves in the street for.
When we were doing the first read-through, and I kind of heard that joke out loud for the first time, giving the ring pressure size, and she went like this, and I was like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. Is he okay? Is she going to cry? What's going to happen? And she was fine. And then it was like, when we did the scene...
If she cries, we're all going to drown.
Yeah. And then when we did the other scene, and he goes, yeah, you have fun porking Gollum while I'm left with shit. And I'm like, I look at her and she goes, who's Gollum? I go, oh, she's a model. And I was like, I still felt so bad. She has such a great sense of humor, and she's such a good sport.
Clearly, yeah.
I mean...
Now, in the first Ted movie, Seth, you gave some challenges to Mark. There was the famous 57 white trash girls' names.
Yes,
Which,
yes.
Now, was that on auto cue, or did cards?
No, I learned it.
We brought in cue cards thinking, because I'm thinking to myself, oh man, I could never learn this shit. This is like, this is a mile of names, and there's no context to kind of do any kind of association in your head. And I said, you know, we have these cards for you, and Mark's like, hey, I mean, I think I got it. And just rattles them off take after take like that. I still don't know how that was accomplished, but it's pretty amazing.
But this time, you gave him another list of 57 things.
That's right.
But you cut it out.
How did you know that?
He told us.
I still wake up in the morning saying this shit.
It'll be on the Blu-ray?
Movie surnames.
Yeah, well, what was happening is we were doing a scene where Ted, because it was such a great moment in the movie, I thought maybe we'll throw back to it, and then, or maybe he'll just make me study this thing for 4 months and then not use it. But, yeah, so it's all these movie names.
Can you still do it?
Yeah, I can still do it. That's all I know. I mean, I think about this shit all the time.
Oh, my God.
Can you really? 57 movie names. Okay.
Skywalker,
okay.
Zola, Vader, Kenobi, Palpatine, Calrissian, Balboa, Rambo, Griswold, Stifler, Bickle, Gump, Coleon, Walker, Zavaga, Lebowski, Venkman, Spengler, Stans, Rizzo, Zuko, Golightly, Higgins, Doolittle, Poppins, Bond, Blowfoot, Blutarsky, Lightyear, Soze, O'Hara, Dufresne, Gloucet, McFly, Baggins, Pliskin, Ventura, Montoya, Burgundy, Scissorhands, Drebin, Stryker, Buell, Electra, Potter, Weasley, Dumbledore, Sparrow, Dumbboy, Born, Von Trapp, Zoolander, Kirk, Spock, McCoy, fucking Khan! It's like that old bar trick.
All right, now we move on to Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper, you are here preparing for the smash hit, Tony Award-winning musical Kinky Boots, which I saw in Broadway. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Now, it's 6 Tonys. 6 Tonys of Grammy. It couldn't have gone better for you. And didn't you invite President Obama to go see it?
Well, I was doing the White House show. They invited me. You know.
Didn't just show up.
You know, I was there, everybody was so nice and friendly, and I said, yeah, why don't you come see Kinky Boots? It'll make you really happy. And then I realized, no, maybe not, because we don't have a good history of having presidents see, you know, a show. So I figured, well, don't.
Genuinely afraid he might get assassinated at Kinky Boots.
This isn't a good thing.
Is that a thing that American presidents don't go to the theater anymore?
No, I don't know, but I thought of it.
Not on your watch, Cyndi. Not on your watch. Now, weirdly, even though it's had all its success in America, bringing it here is like bringing it home, because it's about an old shoe factory up in Northampton that's going out of business.
Yeah, and Charlie is the son. Charlie has to take over his father's factory. He doesn't want to. And so he skips out of town, and his father dies, and he's left with the factory. He meets, the factory's going under. He meets Lola, who is a drag performer, and in a very messed up situation, he stepped in, not realizing she's a drag queen. She needed a new pair of shoes. He knew how to make shoes. She knew how to design. So they got together, and what I learned from the show, it's about healing yourself. It made you cry, I'm sure.
No, it so did. But you're right, the end, because what's great, I went to see it on Broadway. I didn't know what to expect, but it's fantastic. It's everything you want from Broadway musical. It's got the spectacle, and you laugh, you cry. Now, previews at the Adelphi Theatre, lovely theatre, in London from the 21st of August, opening on the 15th of September. Later, you're going to sing a song for the musical, but right now...
It's a great cast.
Yes. Well, this is giving us a flavour of the whole musical. Here's a taste of the original Broadway production.
Everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. He wants to hear you say
director told me, he came in and he said, I told you I wanted to please. He said, I want a song where everybody says yes. So I said, okay. Everybody say yeah, and we were in it. And then they said to me, some of the producers, he kind of loved that song, but some of the producers were like, it has no chorus. I said, what do you mean? Everybody could sing it, you know. I kept writing.
And you're going to be here for a while in London. So is your pooch coming with you?
No, I don't know. You know, I was going to ask you, Graham, because
Well, no, yes, I've heard that your pooch has a problem.
Yes, he has a bit of a drinking problem.
Did he tell you what pooch means over here?
No.
Okay.
He's been horrible. Pooch means dog. If I'd said her furry friend, then that would be a very different thing.
That's
wasn't
just
what I was
wrong.
thinking.
Okay.
No, but your pooch has a drinking problem.
Yes, a bit
And apparently
of-
you've got photographic evidence of
Yes.
your dog's
Yes.
drinking problem.
Yes.
What's the name of your dog?
Gordy, after Gordie Howe.
Gordy. Gordy looks astonished that he's got a glass of wine.
Well, no, it wasn't
ordered
Chardonnay.
By the way, that photo exactly matches you right now. A furry guy with a glass of wine to his right on a shelf.
But here's what's
That is
wrong.
identical
But
to
this
what
is the
I'm
problem. This is the problem because this wine glass is in proportion to the size of my head. Look at that. That's like half his body, that wine glass. That's your problem right there.
No, I did try and mark a few of my suitcases and my dulcimer, which I guess nobody's really excited about. I play a dulcimer, and every time I played it, every manager, what's that she's playing? What is that? Why can't you just stand up there and sing? What the hell's the matter with you? Well, you can't just sing like everybody else, you know. So, my dog, you know.
Your dog plays the dulcimer?
No, he marked it.
Oh, he pissed on it.
He pissed on it.
Oh, I see. I so didn't understand what you meant. I marked my suitcase.
Well,
oh, so
they said not to say piss, you know. So. Then I heard him. I figured, what the hell, you know.
I did not realize that until I came over here. I did the breakfast, which Mark was pointing out. What is it? Every show
has the word breakfast in it.
Yep.
It's like radio
It's a breakfast
There's
show.
Well, why not say morning? They have no food. It doesn't. You don't get any breakfast. Toast.
BBC Breakfast, is that what it is?
Yeah, BBC
I
Breakfast.
came over here and I didn't realize
this TV Breakfast. Radio Breakfast 1, Radio Breakfast 3, Radio Breakfast 5. It's like, we never saw any food.
And they never even gave a cup of coffee? Nothing?
Nothing. No, you're not
Give
getting
me
food.
shit.
But it's like a big deal. I did the BBC Breakfast, and they were asking about the censors on Family Guy, and I said, well, you know, sometimes they get a little pissed with us, and these guys are like, oh, we've got to apologize for our viewers. What happened?
I love that your explanation of censorship got you into... Because, Cyndi, you watch Family Guy a lot, don't you?
I did with my son, yeah.
Oh, what happened?
Times. Well, some of the stuff, he was little, and I was
You
like,
didn't put
oh my
Cyndi
God,
in it, did you?
David,
Is the Cyndi Lauper appear?
Every time I come on this show, I'm like, shit, did we take a jab at that guy?
Because, Mark, you introduced your kids quite young to Family Guy, didn't you?
Well, I thought it's a cartoon. I didn't know. I meet Seth. I'm like, okay, well, let me at least see some of his work because, you know, we're probably going to make this movie together. So they send me the 150th anniversary episode. So I start watching with my kids, and I'm telling you, we are digging it so hard. You got Stewie's locked in the safe with the gun, and I start drinking and all this stuff. And then he throws up, and he makes him eat it. And then he poops in his diaper, and he makes him clean it. And I'm like, my kids and I are cracking up. My wife comes running in, going, what's going on? What's going on? I want to be a part of this function. She's like, oh, my God. Goes in and turns it off. And, like, I'm in trouble for 2 weeks.
But now, so I'm pretty sure Cyndi Lauper hasn't been, but you have used her music in the show.
We must have.
You have?
At some point.
Apparently there was a montage.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you must have given permission, presumably.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so imagine you've got an evening at the Drunken Clam. It's Cyndioke. Let's call it Cyndioke. It's a thing. So who would you pick? Who would you pick to, for instance, Time After Time? Who would sing Time After Time?
Damn you. Bark like a seal, you bastard! I guess maybe Stewie would sing Time After Time.
Okay. Apparently I've got to give you a special singing microphone.
What is he singing? Time After Time?
Time After Time.
So it's just lying in my...
I do wish I had the bouncing ball.
That's the second verse.
Yeah, we're just starting the second one.
Sometimes you picture me. I'm walking too far ahead. You're calling to me. I can't hear what you have said. Then you say, go slow. Fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time.
Should we do another one? Should we do another one? Okay.
Colors.
Okay.
That was really
Do you want to do true colors? Do you want to do true colors?
Do you want me to do
Yes,
True
of
Colors?
course I do. I wanted you to do like the greatest hits of Cyndi Lauper, but
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. Okay, it says Peter Griffin in parentheses, so I'm assuming. Okay.
okay. Oh, this is going to be beautiful.
You with the shit. Don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you can make you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, buddy. That's why I love you. So don't be a dick. Let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
Let's do the whole soundtrack of Kinky Boots. You can play all the parts.
This is like the weirdest company night out in. We're all bonding, we're not sure, but one guy won't get off the mic. Let me do my Family Guy impersonations. Let me do another one for you.
No, because I mean, happily, it is your thing. You're allowed. Now, Dara O'Brien. Dara O'Brien is very busy at the moment. Yes. So Mock the Week, that's back on Thursday nights, BBC2. 10th series.
10th year, actually.
10th
14
year.
series, our 10th year
Wow.
back, yeah.
And tour at the moment, Crowd Tickler.
Yeah, currently about 92 dates into a tour.
Of how many dates?
Of about 160.
Wow.
Yeah, we just...
So 92 is...
I keep booking theatres in the hope that someday an American president will come along. I worry, would the bang be disrupting to the rest of the world? Really awful.
The press.
Oh, my God, it'd be fantastic. I'd be made. It'd be great.
But at 92 dates in, is that it? Is it kind of a fixed show now?
No, there's already... It's weird. There are jokes you write which will be funny forever, and there's jokes you write which don't make the show. And there are jokes which are funny 60 times or 80 times, and then you just get bored telling them. And at this point, you kind of go, right, enough of that. I'm tired of this. And so you're flinging them out. But, like, a lot of it is the freshness of who's in. I mean, we were in Northampton, and I do lots of messing around with the audience.
Oh, yeah.
I've done loads of audience chat with various people, and 15 minutes into the show, a woman got up from the front row of the thing and sort of shrugged at her husband and walked out. Right? This is normally like a bad thing, and you're going to go, this is that. And as she's going, I said to him, why is she gone? Like, I'll take this on the chin. Yeah. Why is she gone? And he goes, no, she said, she's a police officer. She's on call. And she had been buzzed while in the front row of a gig, had gone out, did whatever she had to do, like stopped whatever riot, arrested whatever burglar, and came back. And the whole room saw her come back, and now we're going, yeah, you can see the room going, Dara, we're enjoying the show, but we really want to know what she has just done. Right? And she was like, oh, I can't really tell. She sat down, watched the rest of the show, and you're for the rest of the show going, is there a guy, a perp, like a criminal, outside, like handcuffed to a pole, waiting for the show to finish, and like we'll see the crowd coming out. Is it done? Can I go? Can I get processed? Like, and she was like, yeah, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, so that kind of weird stuff.
So Mock the Week tour.
Yeah.
That's it.
All that.
Rather more unusually, You also have a documentary, which is on BBC One next Monday at 10:35.
Next Tuesday night. Tuesday night at 10:35.
It's Dara O'Brien meets Stephen Hawking. I think we know what that's about.
Yes. I understand, yeah.
Yes, but how much time did you actually spend with
done
Stephen
over the course of about 3 or 4 months. We started. I'd met him before, and
Is he as much of a dick as everybody says he is?
Sing again.
It's okay. I'm quite happy to either leave that in or do an edit point. You can either, right? I like that guy. So, having met him, he's actually quite cool. He's quite funny as well about stuff, so he's cool about that. I'd met him before at various sort of sciencey things, because I do those, like the stargazing and various science programs. I'd even been out with him once. I went out on the piss with him with me, him, and Benedict Cumberbatch. The weirdest crime-solving trio.
Or a really good episode of Entourage.
These two, these are my guys. Benedict, Stephen, let's roll, let's go.
Where do you go?
You go to a cocktail bar with him and his family, and he said, well, it was after a launch of a thing, and he said, come on, let's go to this. And we drank margaritas, because that's what he wanted to drink.
Wow.
And it was a fabulous night. So he's a very gregarious in his own way kind of a man. He's like any nerd. He's like in that regard, except for obviously this whole thing about his illness and the state that puts him in. But you get behind that, and we spend about 3-4 months dropping back in to see him and spending more time with him, and you get more of a sense of the personality.
And of course, you were saying, I didn't realise, he's 73 years old.
He is the longest surviving motor neuron disease patient, I think, in history, but certainly in the world. It is astonishing. He was given 2 years to live 50 years ago. Wow. And is still with us. And still working, still doing science as well. It's doing theoretical physics and math, which is tough, and is famously a young man's game, and he is still firing out ideas that people are working with.
I've always wanted to meet Stephen Hawking, because it's interesting. For a guy his age, if I had a stronger memory, I could remember exactly what facet of his theory it was that he spoke out about I think about a year and a half ago, and said, yeah, I might not be right about this.
Yeah.
You might remember better than I.
He will take bets on things. And he's got framed bets around that he has with other physicists that we will find out that this is the behaviour of a black hole or whatever, and he'll get things wrong. But also because what he's doing in his head is he's jumping 50 years ahead of where people are going. They're filling in the details. So he may or may not be right, but he's pushing it.
Well, we've got a clip, and I think this is you basically meeting him in the show.
Stephen, thank you very much for inviting us into your home. I have a number of questions that you've been very kind enough to answer for me. My first question for you. You were diagnosed with motor neuron disease more than 50 years ago, and you were said at the time, the diagnosis said that you had 2 years to live. Essentially, the question is, how are you still here?
Obviously, I'm not a typical case, or I would have died half a century ago. I think my survival against the odds must have something to do with my commitment to science. I am damned if I'm going to die before I have unraveled more about the universe.
I would have that printed on badges and t-shirts. I'm damned if I'm going to die before I know how the universe works. So it was in that little exchange, because actually it wasn't the first time we'd met him, and so we were getting relatively comfortable at that point. And there was a point as we were doing this interview, and I asked, and I went into a longer spiel at that point about the T-shirts that I would have printed with "I'll be damned if I'll die" before I find out how the universe works. Right? And I kind of went, listen, I'm not going to steal the idea from you, Stephen, because I'm sitting there. I would split 50. I will go 50-50 with you on this one. And then there's a pause, and I went, okay, 60-40. And then I ran it again, and then I go for another pause. I went, right, 70-30. But I'm robbing myself here. And then the conversation moved on, and then suddenly from the chair, you hear his voice go, 80-20, deal.
Listen, we're nearly out of time, so good luck with the documentary.
Thank you
I look
very
forward
much.
to watching it. Kinky Boots, can't wait till it gets to the West End. And Ted 2, I'm sure it'll be a huge success. I loved it. I thought it was very funny. The only thing is I did miss the Thunder Buddy song. Was it ever going to be in the second one?
It was, yeah. There was a scene where John...
Why'd you take it out?
It's, you know, when you're 2.5 hours long in your first cut, you have to, you know, show mercy to the audience.
Could you do it?
But it was in there, yeah. There was a scene where John and Ted sing the Thunder Buddy song.
He wants to know if we'll sing it now.
Go on, Mark.
Go on. Are you ready? Okay.
Sure.
Cyndi, you want to count us in?
Oh, yeah, how about that?
1, 2, 3, 4.
When you hear the sound of thunder, don't you get too scared. Just grab your thunder buddies and say these magic words. Fuck you, thunder, you can suck my dick. You can't get me thunder, cause you're just God's first.
Okay, it is time for Cyndi to perform your beautiful song from Kinky Boots. So if you want to go over and get ready at
Do you
the
mind
piano.
if I take my shoes off? Don't.
Do it. Sorry.
for it.
Can't-
You do that here.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just got to feel my feet on the ground. I can't sing in stilts, but I don't look good without them.
Creep over. Let's go. Performing Not My Father's Son from Kinky Boots the Musical, it is Cyndi Lauper.
When I was just a kid, everything I did was to be like him. Under my skin, look at me, powerless and holding my breath, trying hard to repress what scared him to death. It was never easy to be his type of man, to breathe freely was not in his plan, and the best part of me is what you wouldn't see. I'm not my father's son. I'm not the image of what he dreamed of, with the strength of Sparta and the patience of Job. Still couldn't be the one to echo what he'd done and mirror what was not in me. The endless torrent of expectation swirling inside my mind wore me down. I came to a realization, and I finally turned around to see that I could just be me. I'm not my father's son. I'm not the image of what he dreamed of, with the strength of Sparta and the patience of Job. Still couldn't be the one to echo what he'd done and mirror what was not in me.
Cyndi Lauper, everybody! Oh, beautiful job! Come back and see us, dear. Cyndi Lauper, mind. Don't step on anything sharp. Oh, it's fabulous. Really, really beautiful. It's gorgeous. Really beautiful. Thank you so much, Cyndi. And, of course, a round of applause for Stephen O'Remus, who's on the piano over there.
He did Mormon, Wicked, Avenue Q, and he did Kinky. I was lucky. So.
Yeah. And we also, I forgot to mention, Mark, your TV baby is now a movie. Entourage is in cinemas now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here it's out on the 19th of June. And does this kind of wrap it up? Is this kind of the end of Entourage now?
Well, you know, it was the kind of thing where people were always complaining that the show ended too soon and they wanted more. So it was kind of like, you know, to give them what they've been asking for and hopefully introduce a new set of fans that didn't know the show to the show.
So 19th of June, Entourage. Right, before we go, let's make this week's visit to the Big Red Chair. Hello! Who's there?
Hello.
Hi! I am high hostess. What's your name, sir?
Henry.
Henry.
Henry!
Henry.
Uh-oh. Hey, Henry.
Do you know Henry?
I know a Henry.
Okay. So, where are you from, Henry?
I'm from California.
Okay.
I know a Henry from California.
Did you really know that?
It's a tough crowd tonight. It's a tough crowd here tonight.
It's okay. They got to earn it, Cyndi. They got
I
to
know
earn
that.
it.
My name's Henry from California.
Boom.
I've heard it.
Henry, I love you!
Okay, let's try one more. One more. Let's see if we can get... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hello!
Hello.
Hi. What's your name?
I'm Paul.
Paul. And what do you do, Paul?
I work for a charity.
Okay. Yeah, he works for a charity. We don't even know... I'm not even going to ask what it is. We'll just assume it's a really good one. Okay. So off you go with your story.
Okay, so I used to look after some charity shops in the north of England, and I got a phone call from a concerned member of the public saying that there was a dubious object in a window display. So I rang the charity shop and spoke to the elderly volunteer on the phone, and I said to her, can you just talk me through what's in your window display? And she said, oh, yes. We've had a lady come in the other day and she's donated this fantastic box of gym equipment. So we've kind of like put the mannequin in the window and we've put the shorts on him, and then we've got the bench press and we've got the little springy thing, and we've also got a neck massager as well. And I said to her, oh, and I tried to get around it a little bit, and I said to her, oh, we're not really allowed to sell electrical goods. And she said, oh, well, there's no need to worry because it's battery operated. I said to her, oh, right. And she said, don't worry, it does work, because me and the rest of the volunteers have been trying it in the back room. And I said to her, I don't know how to tell you this, Sandra, but I think it might be a vibrator. And there was a moment's pause on the edge of the phone, and then she just said, Mavis, get to the window! Get to the window!
Join us on the show and have a go in the red train. Contact us via our website at this and very address. Thank you to my guests tonight, Dara, Cyndi Lauper, Seth MacFarlane, and Mr. Wahlberg. Join me next week with music from Tiny Tempa, model and actress Cara Delevingne, Oscar-nominated actor Jake Gyllenhaal, Game of Thrones star Emilia Clarke, and the mighty Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Stick around for Sun Trap falling under the spell of stage hypnotists next here on BBC One, while Seth MacFarlane's Family Guy is over on BBC Three right now.